WAHHR, Alabama Hip Hop Radio, online worldwide, with the dopest radio station on the planet, a new way to listen.
Welcome to Port City Unplugged, where your voice is amplified. I am Ty Burton, and today we are here with Prichard City Council candidate for District 5. Say hi to the people.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to see you today. We are here to inform you of the candidates on the Gulf Coast. I actually went to a city council meeting today. You were not there. It was a clown show. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But for now, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, obviously I live in Prichard, but I've been living in Prichard for about 11 years, and those 11 years have been so important in my life. I became a mother in Prichard. I raised my daughter in Prichard. I'm a veteran, but I also got my education in Prichard. I grew up, I became a big girl in Prichard. So I'm using my knowledge, what I've learned in my educational career, shall I say, being a criminologist, working in criminal justice, to bring those skills to Prichard.
Very good. So, where are you from?
I'm originally from Leroy, Alabama, which is about 55 miles north of here, but this was the closest city to us, country folks down there. So, we always came to Mobile, and I always, growing up, grew up going to the mall and, going to concerts in Mobile and always wanting to be downtown in Mobile.
Well,
and now I'm in the heart of Prichard.
In the heart of Prichard, tell people about.
So I am living in the Bessemer community, New Bessemer, to those
Hope 6.
Hope 6, and like the community members like call it the New Bessemer, because apparently it is built on top of the old Bessemer that was there, the original. So the surrounding areas is the Whistler area, more so like the Main Street area. We got Robbins Elementary, the stadium, Prichard Preparatory, that area. So I love my community. We love the neighboring communities around us. So in Bessemer, we all work together as a community, and we clean up the garbage around our own neighborhoods, and because we know, the city don't have that many employees to go around. So, and that's something that I would like to address as a candidate as well.
Very good. In the light of the recent incident at Viger High School, what immediate steps would you take to improve safety for students and the surrounding neighborhood?
Great question. Especially with my criminal justice background, I would definitely begin to look at deterrence to deter the crime. We need to ask the questions, why are these incidents happening so much? Why is there a lack of patrolling? Is that the problem? Do we not have enough officers? Which we know the answers to these questions. And also, are there programs or after school programs for kids to go to? Are there things for the community members to do, community centers, like senior citizen centers? There's also other type of centers. We don't have no gyms for adults. We don't have anything to do for kids. So making up deterrence programs. I was the program manager for Spring Hill College, and I know that there are programs existing in place that have successfully turned around the trajectory of students, and I think that's possible for our surrounding areas in Prichard, especially focusing on Viger High School.
Well, how do you plan to strengthen the collaboration between the City Council, the Prichard Police Department, and the school system to prevent the violence and ensure our children's safety?
Well, that begins with new leadership. And with new leadership, that becomes new relationships. And with new relationships is new bonds and resources to be able to accomplish the mission of working as a cohesive relationship to deter these issues. Crime is a big issue, but we know that kids are committing the crime right now, so, and we know that the police do not have the capacity to police the city, and the city workers are not at the capacity to handle the amount of people within the city. So we have to begin working from the top to the bottom, but also we have to give the people a voice, listen at the community that you're around, and listen at the issues, and be able to handle those issues task by task. So that's what my mission is, not as just a candidate, but as a council member, if I'm elected, to be a voice for the people, because I'm a citizen first.
Thank you for sharing with us. So, beyond law enforcement, what community-based strategies would you support to reduce crime and build trust between residents and police?
Besides the programs such as one like Wilmer Hall at Spring Hill College, there's other developmental plans that we could do with Vigor, and also working in the community, getting an open relationship, understanding the type of programs that are needed. Do we need programs?
Give us an example of what kind of program you're discussing. What did they do at Wilmer Hall?
So at Wilmer Hall, they initiated after school programs that went into the school. They had college students, and we could utilize University of Mobile and have college students go into the high schools during their last periods of the class and then tutor them until the end of the day. That takes up time, that takes the kids off the street, that takes them off of their parents' minds. They know that they are getting tutored, they're in a safe place, and that they are being, instructed by, people that are looked at in the community. These are people to look up to, a college student. That could be me one day. That's the type of insight that they gave to these kids. And also they took them on field trips, exposed them to things, taught them history of Africatown, taught them history of the Mobile museums, and taught them the Catholic history of Spring Hill College and things of that nature. So I know that I watched these programs. I was a part of these programs. So I know the impact that it had on these students. I still have students run up to me and say, Miss E, and I have to remember I'm not a teacher anymore, but they remind me of those times. And so I know that as far as the relationship between the schools and working with the city, those are possible, because those are also funded. We can get, different type of grants, different type of funding, and we have to have a grant writer. And I know I have a strong suit in writing grants. That was something that I made sure I took a class in while I was in school. But speaking in the community, we have to develop community watch programs. We have to develop street captains, there's programs out there that are already in place that we can, build a foundation of and idle these type of organizations that help keep their community safe. And also we could collaborate, bring them in. We have to look into collaboration, because in Prichard right now, we're in a state of emergency. We need help, and change is the only chance of survival.
How will you work to ensure that all District 5 residents feel safe walking in their neighborhoods, both during the day and at night?
Day and night is important. In the daytime and at night, blight is an issue in my district, but all over Prichard. And improving the blight issue, starting off with cutting grass, cutting down the abandoned properties that grass is growing up, because it's not safe. Snakes could crawl. There's a lot of properties such as the Senior Citizen Center that has a wood line up next to it that does not get attended to by the city. So making sure as a council member and also as a citizen to bring light to these situations and make sure they are aware of it, because a lot of these places go overshadowed and unnoticed. And walking at nighttime, you have to make sure that we have proper lighting. That's first and foremost. But in order to get proper lighting, we have to have a safe place for Alabama Power to come in and change the lights. So something as little as cutting the grass makes a major impact in a district. And I don't think that, again, the city does not have many workers that can handle the capacity of the entire city. So focusing on blight is the biggest issue to keep communities safe, and creating programs that include the citizens communicating with the council on what the issues are. If we have burglaries, we need to know. If we have cars that are riding by late at night, boom, boom, and music, we need to know. If we have, shots fired in a certain area all the time and the police are not responding, we need to know that as a community. So, working with programs, again, and other organizations, trying to, bring them in to help us move forward as a city.
Thank you. This next part is about access to resources and fighting food insecurity. Many areas in District 5 are considered food deserts. What specific policies or partnerships would you pursue to bring grocery stores, fresh food markets, and healthy food options to our community?
If you talk about policy, we talk about, again, grants and things of that nature. And in order for Prichard to receive the type of grants we need, we have to get better leadership. So that's at the forefront. But there's other organizations out there, such as EJI, the Equal Justice Initiative, that brings in food and fresh food that helps, alleviate these food deserts. And I don't think that the current council has, explored those options yet. They're new, progressive organizations, and I think that sometimes we can look beyond what we have in our own city and allow people to come in and help out. And also with the infrastructures is the city zoned to allow farmers to farm? So that's something that we need to look into as well, because I know that there is a organization of Black farmers, women farmers, male farmers, that can help alleviate this problem, that would, love to get their produce to us. And there's, people in business such as Cozy Browns that just opened a produce stand that, are trying to help with the food desert. And we as a community have to support our community members. So that's important as well. So that's the way that we help alleviate the food deserts and find a way to bring in funding to bring back the food pantries. These churches are, exhausted of their resources to be able to handle food pantries on a daily basis. So now it's limited resources, limited access. So we just need more funding. So bringing that in, writing grants, looking for different organizations that can come in and give us a little bit of relief could help out in these times.
And so, the next part is about community investment and engagement. What plans do you have to bring more youth programs, job training, and resource centers to District 5 so residents have more opportunities and fewer barriers?
Man, we got to utilize our resources. We have University of Mobile, we have Spring Hill College, we have Coastal College, University of South Alabama. We have so many colleges, great colleges surrounding us that we could create relationships and partnerships with that could help alleviate these problems, help create youth programs, have programs that are in the schools such as Viger, just like, I know that LaFleur has a performing arts program and they are connected to different, colleges and things of that nature. I believe that, we could build something in Prichard with the same way with, University of Mobile, Spring Hill College, and I believe that there are programs out there that can help with these issues.
Very good. How will you ensure that residents have a voice in decision making about public safety, food access, and neighborhood development?
We have to have more open meetings as a community. They're out there, but the access, the limited resources that we have as far as knowing about, we know when council meetings are, but the process to be heard during council takes 2 weeks. So having easier access for our voice to be heard is number one. And then also creating it's hard to hear out every single person in the city. But if we create organizations where we have each council member works with a captain of their, street, their community, and they're meeting on a regular basis, or whether it's a group chat on Facebook, or whether it's a group text, whether they meet in person, we need to get together and talk about the community issues. So coming together, unifying as a community is where we start. So we have to come together and look at each other not as, we're each other's brothers and sisters. So we can't look at each other like this might be somebody that might be trying to do something to me, or we have to put the unity back in community. So it starts there, meeting, coming together, getting some organization. And I'm the type of person that, I lead by default. If I see something that needs to be done, I don't want to complain about it. I just want to come up with a solution to make it better. So I'm a person that will try to initiate the change by bringing these ideas up and bringing them together. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Port City Unplugged, and thank you, Miss Kalla Etheredge, for being here with us. And I would like for you to tell the people why they should vote for Kalla Etheredge, Prichard City Council, District 5.
I am Kalla Etheredge, and you should vote for me because I'm a progressive organizer, I'm a veteran, I'm an educator, but I am most importantly a community member. I understand our needs. I know what we need to address in our community because I have lived here for 11 years. I grew up here, I became a woman here, and I raised my daughter here. So therefore, Prichard holds a special place in my heart. So I would like, with your permission, with your vote, to use my education, to use my knowledge as an organizer to help turn the city around and make Prichard a better city. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Port City Unplugged.